Hello and welcome to the Monday in Holy Week, and we're on to our second Messy Church at Home session. I hope you enjoyed yesterday. Thank you for all the people who sent me pictures. It was really nice to get to see that you're enjoying it and joining in. So today's story is not as happy a story as yesterday. In today's story, Jesus and his friends have just got back to Jerusalem, and Jesus decides to go into the temple courts. And he walks in and he doesn't see people praying or people talking to God. He sees some rich people trying to sell birds to all the poor people. And they say to them, "You can't come in and make sacrifices unless you buy our birds, because our birds are special." But they're charging them huge amounts. And Jesus says, "This is wrong. It's not okay for you to stop people coming in and praying. You don't get to decide what birds are special and what birds are not. This place is supposed to be a place of prayer and a place of worship to God, and you've made it a den of robbers. You're robbing these poor people of their money to stop them from talking to God, and that is not okay." And Jesus gets really, really angry. So he storms through the temple, and if he sees somebody selling something, he tips their table over, and he releases all of the birds. He even makes a whip and chases the robbers out of the temple to make it back into a special place again. He says, a verse from the Old Testament, "My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you have made it a den of robbers." Well, all the chief priests looked at Jesus and said, "Look, everybody's listening to him. He's taking all the power. We've got to do something about him." So they went and they started to plot against Jesus. So that's our story for today. Now I wonder, do you think it was right that Jesus got cross with the people? It's hard, isn't it? Because we don't like to get angry. But those people kind of deserved it, didn't they? I think God does get cross when he sees that we're hurting each other, or doing wrong things, or being robbers. When people with power do horrible things against people who don't have any power. I think he does get cross. Okay, so we've got some crafts to do today. Now, in your bags, for those who've got bags, you might have a face shape. I was wondering who could make the most creative angry face. So I've done a very simple one, and I've just drawn an angry face. But I wondered, in your house, you might have some wool or some string, and you could make some really angry eyebrows. See, they go down a lot, don't they? And you get these big creases when you're angry. You might have some Play-Doh you could make an angry face out of. I don't know what you've got. You could make a cake and decorate it like an angry face. Anyway, let me know what you decide to do. If you want something a little bit harder, Jesus called those people a den of robbers. So I wondered if you could make a robber's mask. Now mine looks a little bit like a robot mask, but all I've done is I've taken what was a Jaffa Cake box and I've cut it into a robber's shape, and I'm going to staple it into a circle. Now the other thing that you could use is you could just use some material like Zorro does and cut some holes into it, or you might have another idea of how to do it. Now if even that is too easy for you, if your name is Hector, this is for you. Jesus went and he wove together leather to make a whip to drive the people out. So your challenge is this: get an empty bottle and put it in the garden, find different things that you could use as a whip and try and whip the bottle down. So you might want to use a dressing gown belt or something. The important thing here is do not hit any of your brothers or sisters with the whip. It needs to just be the bottle. It's not okay to whip people. Just a good note there. Okay, well, enjoy doing that. The challenge today is about toppling things over, like Jesus toppled over the tables. So if you've got a Jenga set, you might want to play Jenga, or you might want to just see if you can build the biggest tower out of things you found in your house before it falls over. Top tip: don't use breakables. If you make a tower out of mugs and glasses and they all fall over, they may smash, which would be very sad. So try and use plastic things or soft things that aren't going to break when they fall over. Okay, then your final challenge for today. It's really easy to get cross. I got very cross yesterday because I was really hungry and it took me a long time to get to my tea, so I got really grumpy. I want to think about things that make me cross like that and how I can stop being cross with other people and do something to make it better. You know, what Jesus did was to try and make life better. So how can I, when I get cross, make life better for everybody and make sure that I'm being fair to everybody? So that's your challenge for today. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!